Hello, beautiful people of the world. It's 8:49 p.m. on a Friday, and if I think back to a year ago this time, life was completely different, with a completely different mindset. It's amazing how someone can change so much in 365 days. Perspective on life, perspective on people, but yet it still seems as if I haven't moved forward, because the feeling of being lost never left me. I bent above and beyond mountains and stood into the air and still had no meaning, nothing that could fill that sense of void in me. Will it ever go away? Will it forever be a part of me? The problem is there are things you can make a regular part of you once you can't change it. But this I never could. It's too terrible to adjust to a feeling that eats me alive. And the worst part is, I can't even explain it to anyone, because it makes no sense to say it out loud. The question why came after it, and frankly, even I don't know. If I knew, wouldn't I have a solution by now? To imagine the day I have an answer only lasted a second. I wrote this on a train 3 months back. And this is the last time I wrote something in my diary. There was this song I heard by Nadia, and the lyrics spoke to me so clearly. And it went something like, "Didn't think I'd see the rest of the year. I'm starting to hate it here. Go to bed and watch me disappear for days on end. I don't know what's going on, but it's gonna get better." I repeated this to myself every single day. Every single inconvenience I had, I repeated this to myself. I don't know what's going on, but it's gonna get better. It's been hard, but somehow I keep surviving through it. Didn't skip work, didn't forget to dress nice, didn't forget to come home, didn't forget to breathe. I left a lot of things that I did forget and absolutely gave up on, but focusing on what I didn't forget made me want to keep going. I think that itself is an achievement, don't you think? Have I expressed too much? Made you turn off the video? But in case you're still here, hi. I finally recorded a week in my life, went from city to city, doing meetings and content shoots. That has also been quite hectic because my car went to the mechanics and I had to take trains and buses, and it had been quite some time since I did that, so it was a little strange and a lot more tiring. In spite of all that, there were also some very, very, very awkward silences through this week. It made me want to walk into a wall, but it's alright, we're handling it, don't worry. There are people who carry more of me with them, and there are people who can barely hold my hand. So the love is greater for the people who carry more, but the risk of them wanting to walk away is also higher. I'm still learning and adjusting to the new parts of me, whilst also trying to hold on to the old parts of me that give me happy feelings, that give me the sense of awareness, who I truly am, and to never forget that. It's already December. I hear people saying that everywhere I go, but this year felt so long to me. It's not already December. It was so dragged out, and it's December. That's my version. I met so many people this year, and I also lost the same amount of people. I can never be the kind to easily let go or not feel anything by someone's presence. That's only because I'm so selective of who I let in, yet I still somehow manage to mess it up every time. I'm sure you can relate. Life in mid-20s, confusing as hell. But we're living through it. We got this. We did. Honestly, we got this. So naturally, somehow, this has become a recap of the year without me intending for it. If you know me, you know I absolutely hate confusion, and that is literally all I have been this year. But that also made me very, very extremely patient. As they say, whatever happens is for a reason, so maybe this is my reason. I learned to tolerate more and not give up on things. And you know what? For this feeling, I appreciate people I have met this year, because usually in a year's time I probably meet one new person, but this time I met so many new people because I moved cities, I moved my job, and everything was new, and it gave a sense of refresh. But then it went extremely downhill. But that's life, right? It doesn't always go on a straight line. And as I'm watching myself speak, I have a bar on my voiceover thing, and that's exactly what my life was. It's like up and down, up and down, up and down. Anyway, you don't know what I'm looking at, so just try to visualize it, okay? Anyways, as I was saying, I'm realizing gradually as I'm speaking out loud on this video, I have gotten positive. I started off being very down and very negative about life, and suddenly, even though it has been negative and the hell 2024 was for me, I think there's hope, and I think that is something else. I didn't know that I was there. Damn, somehow this really helps, doesn't it? Me talking about how my year has gone is not something you can take and want to replicate. So here are a few things that you possibly can and have also helped me not completely give up. And so now I'm getting to tell you about it. Well, as you know, this world is filled with stress and negativity and unending challenges. It's important to look for ways to bring more positivity into our lives. I know, I'm saying this, yes. That also can be very exhausting sometimes, but it's worth it, especially having that mindset. And by creating a positive mindset, it can lead to improved emotional and mental health and a greater sense of happiness. So for instance, take a moment each day, especially first thing in the morning, to reflect on things that you're grateful for. I tend to feel my lowest when I wake up, and that's also because my sleep is extremely disturbed, and I have to tell myself that it's fine, let's do this, let's get up. This simple act can shift your focus from what's wrong in your life to what's right in your life, helping you appreciate both the small and large happy things. Also, the people we spend time with greatly influences our mindset and energy. So try to seek out for people who show positivity and inspire you. And let me tell you something. You know how downhill this went for me? I became the person who was the sad and negative one for others to not want to be around me. I became that repelling human, and that hurt like hell because this was the first time I ever got to know how that felt. So I would say, don't be like me, be better. Limit your exposure to negative news as well, or toxic content, because there's so much online that we see, and subconsciously it starts to affect us and we start to adopt from it without even realizing. So set boundaries by limiting social media time and choosing real life experiences, like going outside, Go outside. I know it's cold, but so what? Still go outside. This is one thing I have been practicing for a while now, and that is be fully present in the in the moment. Focusing on your senses and letting go of worries about your past or future. I know that's hard and hardly anyone can do it, but I somehow can. Mindfulness can help reduce stress and also increase your appreciation for where you are and what you're doing or who you're with. All of these things suddenly become not so ordinary. And honestly, the main thing is you need to learn to romanticize your life in all the moments, even when you're at work or washing dishes in your pajamas. Your life is a movie. Remember that song? Because you need to believe it and create something that you would want to rewatch when you're older. Would you want to rewatch your life right now? Is it entertaining enough? Does it have enough drama? Does it have enough peace? Or are you just going to not want to think about these days when you're older? Really? Change it. This is also me telling myself, by the way. It's not just me telling you guys. All of this that I say all the time in my videos, it's something that also helps me because I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to the place, the vision I speak about. And I know I probably know hundreds of solutions to my problems, but even after having the knowledge, it's really hard to implement it at times. But I guess it will always be that way, which basically means that you get somewhere, anywhere. With anything we do, it takes work. But imagine the satisfaction when you get there. Damn, that would be nice, wouldn't it? I can't believe I've actually spoken for over 11 minutes on a video. That's crazy. You know, I think back to a few years and I used to be this person who was alone all the time. And not in a bad way. I just liked to be by myself. And I never told anyone about what I was going through or anything that was troubling me. I would just keep it to myself, probably journal a little bit, but mainly just never communicate. And somehow I didn't know how to communicate my feelings until I learned how to do it. And now I've spent half video speaking about how I feel and how I've spent my year. This is so much different to what I used to be, and people change and phases come and go, but this is the biggest change that I have experienced in myself. It's not that I'm an extrovert now. I'm not. I'm still quite very introverted. Yes, I would say so. But I have managed to express my feelings on YouTube to everybody, to the world. I know the world isn't watching me right now. Only a few people are. But there is a chance of that happening, and I'm not afraid of it anymore. Also, I haven't heard back to what I was saying, so if I'm speaking very, very fast, I apologize, but I cannot re-record any of this because my nonsense only comes in one go. So, take it or leave it, baby! There's one thing about being introverted most of your life that will kind of shock you, which shocked me. It's how people react to you talking. It's so strange for me to say this because I don't think I've ever heard anybody express this feeling on the internet. They might have. I've not seen it. Or anywhere in real life either. It's like when you have been quiet for so long that you do not participate in conversations often and you don't share your feelings with people. You keep it to yourself. You know you are strong in your beliefs, but you don't say it out loud. But when you do say it out loud, how people react to it is shocking because you never knew how people would react to it. If somebody is used to having that interaction, they don't think about having a negative respond. But somehow, when you are not used to having that, when you are not used to that feeling, that response, you feel like, damn, what just happened? Like, it's so much greater than you could ever imagine for yourself. And that happened to me. All the people that I was angry with, or I was upset with, or anything that is a negative emotion, and I told them that this is what's happened, this is how I feel about this, they flipped. Like, it wasn't something pleasant to hear back. And you put yourself in that position to give yourself the best amount of confidence ever, the highest level, and then when somebody tells you something in response that freaking knocks you down, it's just not nice. And that is with anybody, really. But I think it's on another level when you haven't had that before, when you're not used to having that response before. I don't know if I'm making sense. I always say this, because I really don't know if I'm making sense to people. So if you can just tell me in the comments that I'm making sense, that's it. That's all I want to know. I don't want to know anything good about my videos. I just want to know if I'm making sense. Okay? Tell me, please. Because I really need that. I really want to know. I'm always so confused about how people would take what I say. Even though I don't care. Frankly, I don't care that much what people will think about when they see my video or when they hear me talking anymore, that is. I still want to know that I am making sense to people who are listening to me, So tell me, please. You would not believe the amount of people who have said that what would make them happy will be money. Like, going back to what I was saying about having a positive mindset. Having a good life means having a positive mindset. That's how you have a good life. Not with money. And I know we all need money. We're probably all, wanting to buy some things, go shopping. But a positive lifestyle is a choice. So you have to kind of prepare for that yourself. Like, having a great job or being rich or having a big house or a fancy car doesn't really guarantee happiness. I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but it really, really doesn't. Like, how do you expect yourself to just be happy? Like, your emotions and your feelings and your mind will just depend on a piece of paper. How? Or a credit card in this generation. But that makes no sense to me. You can buy things to an extent. You can't keep buying things. It will eventually come to an end when you are sick of buying things and you have everything in the world, yet you're still not satisfied. What will you do then? Tell me. But the things like gratitude, your values, going outside, talking to good people, having good conversations, listen to positive music, all of these things, they matter. They make you happy. Look at me telling you guys how to fix your lives when I just told you how shit mine was all year round. But who cares, right? We say it until we make it, until we believe it, until it actually happens. Fake until you make it, right? See, now I never intended for my life to go downhill like this though. I never did. I always had good intention. I always wanted to be happy. I always tried to be happy. It's not like I was purposely living a mediocre life and just letting it be. I never was. I'm never that kind of person. I always want to be better. I always want to have a better life. I always want to have better days and spend more time laughing at nonsense. And I do. Seriously. That's also a trick, by the way. Just laugh when you want to laugh. Even when it's absolutely stupid. Just laugh. Still makes you happy. Trust me, it does. I think I've crossed so many topics in one video because This is the longest video I've ever made on YouTube until now. And I quite enjoy doing this voiceover. It's like, it's freeing. And I know that I will probably panic a little before posting it, but tab ki tab dekhi jayegi. I cannot sit here and explain all the things that went wrong in my year, because we will be here for another year, because it will take me a whole year to explain everything. But what you can take from this video is kind of make two sections. One that was all negative and how dreadful this was, and the other with all the positive things that I said and how to improve your lives, and also mine, because this is a lesson to all of us, not just to you guys. I am far, far, far from where I want to be, and that's why it helps me journal like this, journal in a digital version. Whilst you watch me spend my week whilst talking about my year for half an hour. Is it half an hour? We'll see. Anyway, I've been to so many cities this month. I go to so many cities every month because that's how I work. That's my job. I have to travel a lot, and that's something I really wanted to do for most of my life. I wanted to have a job that required traveling, and I get to see new places, and I have change of scenery, really. But throughout all the cities that I have been to in England, Liverpool has to be my favorite. It just has the perfect amount of history and modernism at the same time, and it's pretty and it's really clean. It's very, very clean, at least through the places I've been to, and I feel like it's a place that I would choose to live if I wanted to choose another city to live. I just love the architecture here. Every time you enter Liverpool, I just have this feeling that I want to explore, I want to know more, I want to live here, I want to have this life. So yeah, I think it's pretty nice to go there every time. But in all, Manchester is home, even though I've moved from there now, but Manchester will always be home. Every time we go there, it just has this nostalgic, warm feeling, because it was just the most time I've spent in my life in one place. And more about how many houses I've had in another video, because that's a different topic. I have been traveling most of my childhood, and we've never really had the same house for a long time. So Manchester was the city we stayed in the longest, and that became sort of like home. And I never knew until I moved out of it how important it was to me, or how nice it was living there. So yeah, a little sad, but also think it was good that we moved. It was a refresh. It was nice. Now I'm sure you're all really tired of hearing me speak, so it's come to the end of the video. And so before we start next year with positivity, I want to record another video. I have a very, very good plan for that, and that will be the ending of 2024 for me. This is not the ending of 2024. Thank you for coming along, and I will see you again soon. Love, Sahar.